You sit down at your computer and there's only a white screen. Blink, blink, blink. There's that one line just waiting for you to get the words out. But instead of just blinking 3 times, next thing you know it's blinking 30 and you still haven't put a word on the page. Welcome to Writer's Block. In today's Motivation Monday, we are going to be talking about how you can change your mindset once you sit down at the computer to start writing. There are going to be 7 tips overall that I'm going to give you, and the first 2 tips are going to be talking about what to do before you actually ever sit down at the computer. This first one is to figure out when your brain is working its best. For me, personally, I feel the most enlightened between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Those 2 hours are like my high productivity hours. Now, once you figure out what this time, this like 2 to 3 hour window is for you, begin reshuffling your life around this window. I know it sounds hard for me personally because I want at least one of those hours to go to my writing, and unfortunately, both hours are within my work window, right? So what I do is I try and give myself free time between 10 and 11, and then I work through my lunch break. It isn't ideal, I'll admit it. It is not ideal, but it's something that works for me, and it's one way that I can always make sure that even if I dedicate an hour a day, I'm dedicating my best hour a day. Whenever you discover this time for you, you're going to be like, whoa, this is amazing. And you'll find yourself, that is one of the biggest keys to just being more productive in anything. The next is to try and go outside 15 minutes before you start writing. You don't have to walk, you don't have to do any physical activity, but what I do want you to do is I want it to be in a peaceful, serene setting where you get fresh air, where you might get a little bit of sunshine, but most importantly, you're giving yourself a spot to sit down and visualize what you want to write for that day. Let it play in your mind like a cinematic movie. Now, sit down. If you stare at that blinking line on the computer before you type, you're gonna find yourself in this trance and you're just gonna like struggle to start, right? Don't worry about what the first thing you write is. Just start writing. And if you're still having a hard time, my biggest piece of advice when it comes to something like that is to make sure that you start your writing with your strength. So if your strength is quirky dialogue, just start with quirky dialogue. You can edit it out later if it doesn't fit the scene. But to get those creative juices going, start with something you're strong in, even if it's not the best way to start a chapter. We're talking about your draft here. You don't have to strive for perfection. You just have to strive to get started. All right, number 4, turn off your editor. Do not worry about being redundant, whether it's with the sentence structures or specific words that you're just using over and over and over. That's what editing is for. Let it suck. Let it be what it is. Just free write. Just get the scenes down. Get the emotion down. Get what you want to get done down. You can perfect it later, but the more that you're in this edit mode as you write, the more you're stifling your creative ability and you're feeding your analytical side. You want to make sure that you reverse that. Don't let your analytical side win. Let this be a creative moment. The beginning of writing is just creativity. On that same note, if you're stuck because you need to do additional research or there's a very specific word that you're looking for, don't let yourself be stuck. Just keep going. What you can do is be like, better word, ? And highlight it. Or you can say, do additional research on blah, blah, blah. Highlight it. Then when you're in your editing phase, you see that and you're like, oh, I really need to take a day to nail out the research and to rewrite the scene in order for it to be accurate or in order for it to sound and flow the way I need it to sound and flow. Next, don't feel forced to write in chronological order. Okay, so you got your plot, you got your scene cards, you got chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4, and let's just say like you're just mulling through it because you have to. Well, the thing is that if you're mulling through it and you're not having fun and you're not exploring your own world, there's something missing. Don't write scenes in chronological order just because you feel like writing scenes in chronological order. Write what inspires you. Like I said, it's okay for it to suck, but what it's not okay is for you to get 10,000 words down and then at the end of the day say, you know what, that's not right, I'm going to change it all. But even that's okay. It's just not something that you want to consistently do, right? So make sure if you're writing something that is exciting you, you are guaranteed to keep that in your book because there's something exciting about it. So don't feel like, so if you feel like, oh, chapter 4, I'm not really feeling, I've been struggling for 30 minutes, I've been struggling for 40 minutes, and it's really because you're so excited to get to chapter 5, stop. Just write chapter 5. You can get to chapter 4 later. You can build that bridge later. Don't make it boring just because you're looking forward to something else. Don't write in chronological order if that's not how you feel. All right, so next is to keep a notebook with you all the time, at all times. Keep one in the car, keep one in the purse, keep one in your back pocket. I don't care. Keep one for the love of God. Please. Keep one next to your bed because sometimes whenever we're having trouble, our subconscious is like working it out, even if it's for a novel. I don't know why, but that's just what it does. And you wake up with the answer. Well, write it down before you go back to sleep and you forget, right? So please keep a notebook with you at all times. You never know when inspiration is going to strike, and you don't want it to strike and then you don't have a moment to actually write it down. All right, so that is everything I have for you guys. I hope to see you guys again soon. If this was your very first video, hi, I am Marley. I work on Motivation Mondays and I also give tips and techniques every Thursday on how to improve your storytelling. So if you're interested in something like that, come check out my channel, see what I got, and if it's a good fit for you, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!